On Ultra Graphics, F1 23 is the best racing simulator you can play today. And I've only just realised, but look at the footage I'm going to show you in this video. I'm going to show you different lighting conditions, different angles. We're at Las Vegas here, which is a very detailed track. So much stuff going on outside the confines of the track, beyond the track barriers, that is putting a lot of load on the system. But F1 23, there's a few things I want to point out to you. The first thing is we go down the strip here at night. The quality of the lighting in the reflections is absolutely insane. This is ray tracing running on an RTX 4090. Have a look here. The little hues you get in the reflection on the Ferrari. As we go past different lights, you can see. Can you see the way it's reflecting off the is that the Bang & Olufsen logos on the back? I mean, those little touches, they might not sound like a lot, but they really are way beyond what I'm getting out of iRacing, what I'm getting out of ACC at the moment. And there's a few other bits as well with the reflections to point out. Have a look at the edges of the tyres. Can you see the way that look at the Williams on the right hand side, where the rubber sort of stops and you end up with a shinier tyre wall? The way you get more reflections there is mad. Just saw the McLaren poking through as well. That kind of clarity on the reflections is crazy. And I'm going to show you something in this video that I think is actually not good graphics in F1 23, and I can't put my finger on why, but let me know in the comments if you know why. But the other thing is, look at the insane amount of track detail here. I mean, yes, you're driving F1 23, you're going to be focusing on or you should be focusing on the apex. I wasn't there, else I went too deep. But the amount of stuff going on, look at the crowd detail here. Look at, there's 2 levels to that grandstand on the right. The pits, you've got objects going on in the pits. You've got buildings in the distance. You've got actual foliage on the trees. You've got the detail of the casinos and the hotels. I mean, and then you go on the track, you've got all the tyre marks. You've got the curbs are really finely detailed with the tyres on the curbs as well. The amount of track objects that is going on right now. Now, this is that's a bit weird. Look at the Red Bull right now. I can't work out why that does not look realistic. The shadows when the shadows are coming off the car like now, they're great. They're better than ACC and iRacing for me. But when the shadows are sort of like directly under the car, you almost lose the effect of everything being realistic, and it looks like the car's floating. So we'll see again when we go over that. But that's sort of a weird look here in this sort of lighting. It looks very, 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 very realistic. Combination of silver, they've got the reflections on the Red Bull. Let me know in the comments below if you think this is the best looking racing simulator you can play. Because I've just been playing it casually and I've just realized, hang on a second. This is genuinely levels above anything else you can do right now in sim racing. Absolutely crazy. There are some fine particle effects going on as well. You're still getting those reflections on the car. You're still getting the subtle tells of the car sort of being in different environments, different lighting going on the outside of the car. But we'll see as we go around the corner again past the pits, that kind of weird lighting, also weird shadows in that angle. Something seems to fall apart there. But again, look at the grandstand. I mean, I'm absolutely blown away by this. It really is next generation. I mean, this is way beyond what you can get on the Xbox Series X or the PS5, because I have both those consoles. I've been playing F1 on those as well. But have a look here. Something weird about the car. Looks like it's sort of floating above the ground. That's something that you get in ACC quite easily, unless you're on really intense shadowing. The cars feel like they're floating. Now we don't have that floating effect, so it must be some sort of trick of the light, of the shadow being, of the sun being quite high, or maybe the shadow's actually in front of the car at that point. You can see here me trying to go for a few overtakes. And the game is just running absolutely flawlessly as well. Handling, by the way, seems to be a lot better compared to F1 22, which I did not enjoy at all. Side by side with a Ferrari, and you see the Ferrari, the light bouncing off the Ferrari back onto the Red Bull. All this crazy stuff, the shadows flickering, I mean, just crazy realism. A lot of the casinos here, by the way, well, basically every casino that haven't used the real name, that Caesar's Palace coming up, they call it Hotel Plaza. So for some reason didn't get all the licensing for the hotel. So that does detract from the realism. But I'm trying to think of other tracks. Squeeze the Williams into the wall here, old school. I'm going to show you some different camera angles coming up. But I feel like this third person with no HUD is the one for me where it's most striking. The sensation of speed as well, I think, is really nicely done. The kind of gentle motion blur. But it just, honestly, it just feels like real life. There is so much happening on the screen. I can't tell you. With all these shadows, especially when we go at speed, and for F123 to handle it in this way and be able to keep, you know, running the game as efficiently as it can, that I can keep these settings on ultra, is pretty mad. But again, this bit here, something's not quite right. That doesn't look realistic. I think it stands out more because of the game just looking so ultra realistic in other parts. Look at the weird lighting on the Mercedes. I say weird, but it's obviously the light bouncing off the yellow Pirelli signs and back onto the reflective Mercedes. I remember seeing the Alfa Romeo in the 2022 season with the white fin on the top. The way that thing would reflect the light is very similar to what we're seeing here. Now this is a replay mode. Now the shadows here, again, something looking not quite right in this third person replay mode, dare I say. Not quite as realistic. I can't really put my finger on it. Let me know in the comments what it is. Maybe some stuff is overexposed. That might be. Maybe the cars are getting a slightly different lighting treatment to the track and the objects around. By the way, let me know in the comments if you want to see me do more F123. Very happy to do it if you want to see it. And please like and subscribe as well. Really helps the channel grow, which is absolutely crazy. See a bit of heat haze there, it seemed to be. Off the back of the cars, the exhausts, the engines. Maybe it's struggling to run that effect kind of consistently, which is why, given this bit of shimmering going on, bit of glimmering. So maybe in this camera angle, we are struggling. iRacing actually does the third person cameras like this really nicely, with the bloom, ambient occlusion, the depth of field as well. I feel like the depth of field here is quite subtle. I actually really like a strong depth of field, but here it seems to be quite subtle. But something, I think the cars look like they're slightly different level of detail to the track, which is giving a sort of like shimmering or glistening effect, which is slightly taking away. There's some angle, that was a pretty good angle there for the cars looking realistic. But, I mean, look at the curbs. There's sometimes I'm doing a double take to be like, hang on, is this actually real life or not? And the way they've captured the light here at Las Vegas is pretty crazy. Because I've just been to Las Vegas, actually, and shot quite a few videos of the track compared to F123, which I hope you're really going to enjoy. And I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know that graphics in F123. What do you think? Are you a fan or not? Let me know in the comments, and I'll see you next time.